finally, at last, we have David Croland here for his interview. Now, I have many questions to ask him, and many people to introduce to you that were very relevant to David's life from his childhood in Paterson, New Jersey. First of all, David, I'd like to ask you what it's like to rise up from the remote corners of Paterson, New Jersey, to this bedazzling East Side, posh, star-studded gala opening in 2 words or less.
It's great.
Wonderful.
Do it.
Wonderful. Can we introduce your nurse now?
Absolutely.
Okay, and now we're going to introduce to you David's nurse, Miss B, who took care of David ever since infancy. Come on, sit down.
Sit down and be counted. And you can sit on my lap.
All right, and I'll sit on David's lap.
Okay. Oh, woo.
Tell us, Miss B, did you ever see any of David's early drawings?
Yes, I did. At one time, I was incapacitated in a hospital in New York, and he sent me a letter, and he drew a picture. He had cats in the garage there, and there were 6 little kittens with a mother. And he drew me a picture of the kitties and told me how they were following their mother. And he used to bring the milk all the time.
Oh, how sweet! So the first thing he ever drew was a kitten.
That's right.
And this is straight from Nurse B's mouth. So we know it's the truth. This true was with David ever since infancy. I asked David what the first thing he ever drew, and he said a gun.
I did not.
But I know that it was I know that that's not true.
It's not.
It's not. So David, where do you go from here? How can you top this?
I don't know.
You've used up all your pastels and all your paper and all your supplies and every single female you've ever encountered.
True. I'm going to start doing men now.
You're going to start doing men. What are the men? How are you going to do men? What are they going to look like?
I'm going to do them as women.
As women.
Yeah.
I think that's a very original idea. I think that's a great idea.
Thank you. I have a lot of inspiration in New York.
Yeah. What part of New York?
17th Street.
17th Street.
Yeah.
Is that where you're living now? 17th Street. Now, David, your show's going to be going on to Texas and Oklahoma and Poopo, Alabama. Will you be traveling with your show on these
Yes,
tours?
I will.
And I heard that you've hired your own bus now.
Yes, I have 2 buses, one for me and one for my portraits.
Great. And are you going to be having your portraits displayed on the bus? Because very similar I just thought of that because of
Next question.
Of Peter Max's paintings on the side of buses. What do you think of paintings and portraits on buildings?
I just hope I get to do the next, phone book cover. That's
No, but this is the second night of this party, and we're really exhausted.
True.
But it took me 48 hours to track David down.
It's true.
And I missed his mother last night, and she's a lovely woman too. But I'm so glad that Miss B
Why don't you
is
ask
there.
Joe Tempura some questions? He knows a lot of, right over here.
Joe, okay.
Somebody else want to sit here?
Sure.
Well, yeah. I guess.
Okay.
But we'll catch you later.
Okay.
Now, Joe, you work at the gallery here.
Yeah, I'm a co-director.
Joe is the co-director of the gallery, of the Artworks Gallery, Peter Max Gallery. When was the first time you ever heard of David?
Well, I first saw his art in Back of Interview. I was doing that. And then I saw his work in the Charles of the Ritz windows. And after that, I called up Interview and said, how could I get in touch with him? And they gave me his phone number. And I signed him up for the gallery.
So it was actually you that started the whole thing rolling.
Yes, I brought David to the attention of people.
And And let's see, what else did I want to ask you? Wait a minute, I just forgot what I was going to ask you.
Let's ask Couri some questions.
Would you like to?
Here, Couri can't decide what to buy.
Because Couri must have a question, and then I'll remember the question I was going to ask.
Sit over here for a minute. Sit here.
David, I don't like to see. Now, I want to give Tinkerbelle a lesson. You can't let the star out of the chair.
Come on.
No, really, it's all right. Because I know Couri's got questions too, and then I'll remember the questions I
Let
have.
Couri ask us some questions.
Okay.
Exactly, that's it.
Ask us, because David and I have known each other for a long time.
Okay, now, I know that you two have been friends for a long time, and how did this first happen?
When did we first met at Richard Villani's, right?
Right.
At Richard Villani's house on the east side. He's a decorator. They got a little carried away with his monkey collection. And it's kind of like it's like his apartment now is like Versailles bombarded by Planet of the Apes. He's got some of the biggest monkey collection you have ever seen. And that's where I first met David. And at the same time,
That's good.
the monkey was a big dance at the time. We used to go discothequing together. David used to design jewelry too.
Right. This is Tinkerbell's jewelry.
And I designed jewelry too.
Designs it.
Which was probably inspired by David, but what I always admired about you, David, is your fearless approach to all facets of the arts.
Thank you.
David is not only just a portrait painter,
Right.
he's painted wallpaper, he's painted his bathroom, he's painted, he's designed jewelry.
Do my hair.
He painted his bathroom in shells.
I used to do Miss B's hair.
And he used to do He used to paint Miss B's hair.
That's right.
So I mean,
My car is outside.
and all the cars are triple
It
parked
is outside.
outside.
Well, Tinkerbell, when did David first draw you?
He first drew me in London.
Yes.
In London.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen David for years, and I finally had this opportunity to go to London, and I just couldn't believe that I was going to see David. We just couldn't believe that we were going to see each other. So we used to call each other every day for 2 weeks before I left, screaming. All we said on the phone was, "I don't believe it! I don't believe it!" And here I had this gigantic phone bill, and all we said was 4 words. But that really said everything.
I thought that was the best idea.
This is good.
David, tell me, how do you choose the women that you do draw?
They choose me, basically.
Well, do you often have someone choose you that you don't want to draw?
Yes.
And how do you go about refusing this
I
type
just
of
say,
woman?
I just say I'm sorry.
David, who's the ugliest girl you ever drew?
I think we should have a close-up of this, Anton. Let's go to the extreme. Who's the most
Okay.
beautiful?
I'll pass on that. Who's the most cross-eyed? Oh, it's really, there've been so many.
So hard, it's
I know,
true.
it's been so
Would you say
hard.
that basically you draw your friends?
No.
Have many of the people you have drawn become your friends?
Yes. That's true.
Why is it you always wear black?
Because I'm colorblind.
You're colorblind?
Yeah.
How do you blend your pastels so
Nurse
beautifully?
knows.
With my
She
finger.
remembers-
I know that.
You blend the pastels with your
Yeah.
finger? Well, I noticed that out front. I think that Tallulah Bankhead is perhaps the only drawing I've seen so far that is more or less black and white.
Right.
How did you? Is this going to be a new trend or?
No. Just, it's just a feeling.
Excuse me.
Sure.
I want to ask Nurse B because she remembers David being colorblind, and she was probably the first person to realize that he was colorblind.
That's right.
How did that happen?
Well, he couldn't tell the difference between colors, different colors. I'd say a certain color was a certain color, and he'd say no, and I says, you're wrong.
You mean he would be painting your hair blonde, and it would come out purple?
Brunette. Yeah, that's right, when I was young. Yeah, right.
You mean to tell me you don't know the colors?
Oh, I know the colors.
We've got into violent arguments over colors.
That's true.
Because I'll swear it's purple, and he says, it is not purple, it's red.
No, that's true. You're right. That's true.
Which I think is another feat of genius, because the
Yeah.
colors are absolutely so perfect on these portraits.
That's true. No, that's true, though.
Absolutely perfect.
Well, let's wrap this up.
Okay,
Wrap
so
these portraits up. Should we?
Okay, we're going to wrap this up with a medley of tunes that we used to...
Ask the one happened to the teddy bear.
Yeah, I want to...
Please.
David, Aunt Beaver still has David's teddy bear, and we don't know. I mean, we have a mystery here because we don't know if David
outside?
will ever get his teddy bear
Yeah, I
back.
do have
Do
it.
you want to wait on?
But Aunt Bee still has it.
Well, here's Robert Mapplethorpe. Do you want to interview him?
Oh, he's too
Oh, he's just
shy.
ran away.
He just
David,
ran
I
away.
do have one more
Yes.
question that does reoccur, and and that is that many people feel that the paintings are very stylized,
Yes.
and that often that they see a resemblance between the
Right.
paintings.
Right.
Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, sure I can. What was the question again?
Would you say that you idealizing these women? Is that why they
Oh yes.
some sort of
Yeah, I am.
resemblance?
I'm definitely.
Do you think that this is the way women should look?
It's the way they want to look.
Right.
Do you draw them like that because that's the way they want to look? Or
Yes.
because that's the way you want them to look?
It's the way we all want them to look. Everybody, you know.
David, I wish we could have your mother here because I know she's such a
She's
fabulous woman. She's here tonight?
Sure.
And she's been compared with Rosalind Russell, and she was one of
Yes,
David's
where's your
biggest
mother?
inspirations. Tell me about some of your mother's clothes and how she inspired
Oh.
you in your youth.
I couldn't start.
You couldn't start.
I just couldn't.
Were there ever moments, I know that every artist who works hard over the years has moments of sort of wondering, am I going to make it, or is it worthwhile, should I keep going? And now, of course, you have made it, but can
Well,
you tell us a little bit about the struggle, or was there a struggle?
There's been no struggle.
What's the scar on your cheekbone?
That's Tinkerbell's lipstick, I think. Well, should we wrap it up?
We got
Well,
one more
I
thing.
want to ask you one more thing.
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, because David, when I first knew you, when we were all struggling, and I still am,
Yeah,
but when I first met you, we used to have such good times, when
And
we were
now?
struggling. Do you think that you have better times when you're young and struggling, and it gets a little boring and not so much fun
No.
once you've made it? Do you
No.
think that that's, no? You think that when you make it, you have more fun?
No.
Do you think
know.
that when you're blonde, you have more fun?
Yes. Do you?
Yes, especially if you're a bleached blonde.
Would you bleach your hair blonde?
But blonde
Not
men,
today.
blonde men have much more fun than blonde women.
Are you sure?
I've lost more boyfriends to blonde men.
One more thing, that a lot of people, of course, can't afford the portraits that are being sold here, but there was a beautiful poster.
Yes.
And will this be available to the public to buy?
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Going once, going twice.
Are you going to make prints or limited editions of any of your drawings?
There's a limited edition of 3. Yes. This one over here, that one over there, and that one over there. Have been made into
These three over here.
Another interesting thing, I noticed that although you have drawn, often famous ladies, that sometimes some of the portraits aren't named after the ladies. Why is that?
Because I don't think a woman wants to hang Lee Redsville in her bedroom. I think she'd rather hang a drawing that's called Flower Garden in her bedroom. She doesn't really want to hang some other woman in her bedroom.
How did you choose to title these pictures?
I just have a good.
Stars like
Sure.
Rudolph Valentino,
Oh yeah,
and
I'll do them all.
because I think you probably really be able to do that well.
I'll do them all
Why was this exhibition called Ladies First?
because they are.
And will men be second?
No. They'll
What
be.
about babies?
They're first.
Are you ever going to draw portraits of families, sort of,
Yes, I am.
Can I ask?
Okay, so
I got a question. Do you work fast or slow?
Fast. Very fast. Quickly.
Well, when you get an idea to do someone, do you do it like you get them to pose, and how fast is it?
An hour.
How
About
long
an
do you
hour.
spend with Lee Radziwill?
I spent 2 hours with her.
How'd you find her as a model?
Fantastic, but one of my best models is Gloria Vanderbilt. She posed.
Yeah, but Lee
Very well.
Radziwill,
Thank you,
it seems like
darling. You're
it's very similar. The 4 drawings are very similar.
Yeah, because she didn't move too much. No,
Really?
Yeah,
Who
she
moved
didn't.
the most?
Gloria Vanderbilt.
thank you, David Croland.
Thank you, Ann.
Thank you, Tinkerbell.
Good night. Thank you, Dave.
Okay.
Are you going to go in?
Go to that party? Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, David.
I'm glad you are there.